almost taste those fish already.
Yeah, food always tastes better outdoors.
That's because you're hungrier. You work up an appetite.
Think of it. 2 whole days at Red Rock Creek.
Our limit of trout.
I don't suppose you'd have a hairpin, would you? When this reel sticks, I always use one of Millie's hairpins to get it loose.
No, I don't seem to find one just now. Well, I'll go look in the desk and see if there's one there.
Did you find one?
So that's the reason.
What's the reason? What's the matter? Are you okay?
It all makes sense now. I should have known. I should have guessed.
You feel all right? Well, what makes sense?
This trip, this fishing trip suddenly makes sense.
Well, of course it makes sense. We've been wanting to do it for 2 years.
Tell me something. Haven't you wondered why Millie and Edna were suddenly so agreeable that you and I should take this trip? They never wanted us to go before.
They think we deserve a vacation.
But why now? Why, after all this time, do we suddenly deserve a vacation?
Who cares why, as long as they want us to go?
Who suggested that you and I take this trip?
I don't know. What difference does it make?
It's important. Who brought it up first?
I guess it was Edna.
I knew it. I understand everything now.
Well, you may understand everything. I'm getting more confused by the minute.
Well, I may as well tell you. When Edna says goodbye to me that Friday night, she never expects to see me again.
Oh, come on. Fishing trip isn't that strenuous. We won't overdo or get lost or anything.
I'm not talking about getting lost.
And what are you talking about?
Edna's gonna have me murdered.
What?
You heard me. Edna's gonna have me bumped off while we're out in the woods somewhere.
You're crazy. Edna wouldn't do a thing like that. Yeah. Where did you get that idea?
Here's the plan for my funeral. Reserve Swan's mortuary for Monday morning, June 25th. Our organist, order flowers. She's even buying a casket.
Let me see that. I can't believe it. Edna's planning a murder.
Not just a murder, my murder.
But why the fishing trip?
Maybe she wants to be sure I die happy.
If Edna had hired someone to kill you, he could do it just as well right here.
No, Edna hates the sight of blood. If I murder somewhere else, she won't have to clean up the mess.
Maybe it's supposed to look like an accident.
Sure, it's supposed to look accidental. That way she can collect on that $1 million policy. Maybe I'll drown in Red Rock Creek.
She thought of everything, didn't she?
Everything except hiding a list.
Well, why would Edna want to murder you? She always seems so happy.
Because I'm getting old. Old and decrepit. I'll be 50 soon, you know. It's straight downhill from here.
Well, that's ridiculous. I'm 53. Millie hasn't murdered me. She's threatened to a few times. She did that when I was 23, too.
The old body's wearing out, Russ. One by one, the parts start to deteriorate. First the hair, then the waistline, pretty woman like Edna deserves more than a broken down old man.
You aren't, you aren't having trouble, are you?
Of course I'm having trouble. I just told you my wife is gonna have me murdered. How much trouble do you want?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, are you still able to,
Can I steal what?
what I'm wondering is, can you and Edna steal
Can Edna and I steal what?
in bed, you know, can you?
Oh, you mean can we still,
Yes.
Oh, well, sure, yes. I'm still perfectly able. Not that it's any of your business.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to pry. I'm just looking for a reason why Edna would want to get rid of you.
Well, it isn't because of our sex life. My hair may be going and my waistline may be non-existent, but I'm still okay in that department.
That's good, I'm glad to hear it.
It must be the insurance money that she wants.
Maybe we're just jumping to conclusions. We really don't have any proof that Edna's planning to murder you.
She has my whole funeral planned.
Maybe she's being prepared in case of an emergency.
Sure. She even knows the date the emergency is going to happen. There's my proof.
All this proves that she's planning your funeral. It doesn't mean she's going to kill you.
Well, how else could she have a funeral for me? I know she gets some crazy ideas sometimes, but even Edna wouldn't put on a funeral without a body.
The whole thing just seems so unbelievable. I mean, Edna, she's the last person I'd ever suspect of murder.
Yes.
Well, now that you found out about it, what are you going to do?
I don't know. What can I do?
I suppose the first thing you should do is to call the police. They can stake out the whole area around Red Rock Creek. And as soon as the killer comes near you, they can arrest him.
But what if they don't see him in time?
What if it's Edna? Maybe she's planning on following us and doing it herself.
No, I told you, she hates the sight of blood. This is a job for a professional killer.
Let's not go to Red Rock Creek. We could go to Sun Lake instead. When we get home, we'll just say we changed our minds at the last minute.
But what if she did have us followed?
And then it wouldn't matter where we went.
Well, that doesn't solve the problem anyway. Even if I escape this time, I'd always be expecting it. I'd be afraid to take out the garbage after dark.
Let's just call the police and let them tell us what to do.
No,
They know about things like this.
no, I won't have it. They might arrest Edna.
Well, that would seem like a reasonable possibility.
No, Edna's a fine, respectable, upright murderer. No. Well, maybe, but she certainly doesn't belong in jail. Think what it would do to Elizabeth.
Well, a murdered father wouldn't be so good for Elizabeth either. You got to do something. You can't go on that fishing trip and let yourself get killed.
Well, I will do something.
What?
Well, before I tell you, I want your word that you won't tell anyone about any of this, especially Millie.
But
Please, Russ, Millie and Edna have been friends for years, and there's no reason to spoil their friendship by telling Millie about any of this.
I don't know.
Please, I want this to be our secret.
Well, all right. Well, what do you plan to do?
I'll run away.
I never figured you to be a coward.
I'll desert. Lots of people do it. I'll leave here on Friday, kiss Edna goodbye as if everything were okay. I'll get in the car with you and drive away. Only I won't be going to Red Rock Creek. I'll be going to Mexico.
Mexico?
I'm going to disappear. I'll slip into Mexico, change my name, and never be heard from again. I'll celebrate my 50th birthday south of the border. I hear they treat the elderly very well down there. I can live there unhappy, alone, and unwanted.
Are you sure that's how you want it, Harold?
That's how I want it. No tears, no goodbyes. I'll just slip quietly away.
Well, what about your funeral? Edna has a lovely funeral planned for you.
Well, Edna can still have the funeral. It can be a memorial service. I like that idea better anyway. I never could stand the thought of everybody looking at my poor, worn-out body.
Well, if you're sure that's how you want it,
That's how I want it.
I guess we won't be needing these things after all.
Would you like to have my rod and reel sort of a going away present?
Well, thanks, Harold. I'd like that. It won't be the same around here without you, pal.
No tears, no goodbyes. I'll just slip quietly away. Well, you may as well have some of my tools too, because where I'm going, I won't be needing them.
Well, thanks, pal. I'll think of you whenever I use them.
Oh, Daddy, I don't want you to die. My heart's desire is to have the best medical care possible for my father. He's 50 years old. He's only 49 years old, and he has an incurable disease. It's important for him to get help right away because otherwise he won't be here to see me graduate, and he won't be here for my wedding.
Hi, honey. Where's your mom?
Hi, Dad. She went over to Millie's house.
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
Nothing's wrong. I was just writing something sad.
Well, if it's that sad, it ought to be a bestseller. The public loves a good cry. Is there any mail?
It's on the desk.
Oh, thanks.
Harold,
Come on in.
I have to talk to you alone. Where's Elizabeth?
She's in her bedroom. What's the matter with you? What are you doing?
Shh. I got something to tell you, and I don't want Elizabeth to hear.
Oh, well, it must be quite a joke.
This is no joke. Have you ever suspected Edna of being unfaithful?
Edna?
Yes, Edna.
Of course not. Edna wouldn't cheat on me.
Well, the husband always thinks that.
Well, she may be planning to murder me, but she's still an honest, trustworthy person. She would never be unfaithful. Why do you ask?
Because Edna's over at my house using the phone. She didn't know I was in the next room.
Yes.
Well, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help hearing.
So what did you hear?
Well, I don't know quite how to say this, Harold. Edna just called the Starburst Motel and made a reservation.
I wonder why she would do that.
Well, why do women usually go to a motel in the same town where they live?
You think she's meeting someone there?
Can you think of a better explanation?
Well, Well, the Starburst is only 6 blocks from here. If Edna wanted to have an affair, she'd go farther away than that. Make sure I didn't see her.
Well, you won't be here to see her. The reservation is for Sunday night, June 24th. She made the reservation under the name Anderson, so I can't tell you who the man is.
Sunday night? You mean she isn't even going to wait until after the funeral?
She sounded pretty eager.
Eager? What did she say?
Well, for one thing, she specified one bed.
She did.
She did. She said, oh, one bed would be just fine. The other one wouldn't get used anyway. And after Edna hung up, Millie asked her if she was going to go and make a deposit on the room. She said, no, my heart's desire will pay for it.
That's what she called him. Her heart's desire.
That's what she said.
Well, I guess you were right that day you were asking me if I was having trouble with my sex life. I am having trouble. I just didn't know it.
How could you not know it?
Well, 26 years you live with a woman. You think you know her. Sometimes you even think you understand her. And then you find out that somebody else is her heart's desire. Heart's desire? Well, all she ever called me was Big Daddy.
I wonder who it is.
Probably an antique dealer. He'll spend the insurance money on urns. Look at this. I told that stupid girl at the travel agency twice to send my plane ticket to my office, and she still sent it here. It's a good thing I got home first. Edna usually opens the mail. What would she have said if she'd have found my one-way ticket to Mexico? What would I have said? It isn't my ticket to Mexico.
Well, what is it?
It's a ticket to Oklahoma City, Flight 23, Sunday, June 24th.
Who's going to Oklahoma City?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe Edna bought it for you. Do you think your bearer's going to be out of town?
Now, how should I know? I'm not planning the funeral. I'm only supposed to contribute the body.
I'll bet Edna hired an out-of-state killer, and that's his escape flight. That letter was addressed to Mrs. Anderson. Maybe we should notify the FBI, and they can arrest him at the airport.
Arrest him for what? I'll be in Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
Wait a minute. This isn't a ticket to Oklahoma City. This is confirmation of a flight coming here from Oklahoma City.
Who do you know in Oklahoma City? Or rather, who does Edna know? Like I said, that letter was addressed to Mrs. Anderson.
Oh my gosh, not him.
Who?
It's worse than I thought. Much worse.
Well, how can it be?
I know who Edna's lover is. It's Roy.
Your brother Roy.
My younger brother Roy. My handsome bachelor younger brother Roy. The one with all the hair. Edna's traded me in for a new model.
Maybe he's just coming in for your funeral.
He wouldn't know about that yet. That rat, that dirty, stinking, hairy rat. He always did have eyes for Edna, you know. He took her out first. Only I'm the one she wanted. Why, he admitted he was hurt. At our wedding, he says, Edna, if this big idiot doesn't treat you right, you just say the word and I'll come and take you away. And that's what he said.
Now you think Edna has said the word.
Well, it all fits together. I leave here on Friday night. I meet with the tragic accident on Saturday. My younger brother, Roy, comes in for the funeral on Sunday. And then he stays on for a while to comfort the widow. After a few months, they can have a quiet wedding. No scandals, no problems. She won't even have to change her name.
Well, why would they send a confirmation here? Why didn't they send it to Roy?
Well, I don't know unless,
Edna must be paying for his ticket.
Well, you did say he was paying the motel bill.
Well, still, why else would the agency send it here?
You're right. It hurts to admit it, but you're right. I'm not even gone yet, and Edna's spending the insurance money on another man.
Well, why don't you just confront her with evidence? Tell her you know about Roy. Cancel the reservation.
No, if Edna's in love with another man, I won't stand in her way. I'll just destroy the evidence and pretend that I don't know a thing. I want our last days together to be happy ones.
Well, you're a big man, Harold.
Well, she called me Big Daddy.
Elizabeth, do you realize that your father is a very special person? What's the matter with Elizabeth? Did I say something wrong?
No, she cries all the time lately. Edna says it's just a stage she's going through. She says teenage girls like to cry.
You think Elizabeth enjoys all that wailing?
Well, she must, or she wouldn't do so much of it.
You know, Harold, just about the time I start regretting that Millie and I never had a family, Elizabeth does something to change my mind.
Thanks.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't know you were home already. Hi, Russ.
Have you always done that?
Done what?
Kissed Harold when he comes home from work?
Well, sure. It's just kind of a habit we got into. But it's a nice habit, don't you think?
Edna, you amaze me. You really amaze me. I'll see you later, Harold.
See you.
My goodness. I wonder why Russ was so surprised that I would kiss you hello.
Well, I guess he wasn't expecting it.
I don't know why not. It's a perfectly natural thing to do. I'd miss it if I didn't kiss you when you come home. It wouldn't seem right.
I wonder if you'll miss it when I'm gone.
Now, don't start that again. Your 50th birthday is not something to dread. In fact, I can guarantee that this is one birthday you're going to remember for a long, long time.
Well, it's pretty memorable already, and it isn't even here yet.
When it gets here, it's going to be spectacular.
You're that glad to see me go.
I know you'll have a good time on your fishing trip.
You won't be lonely.
Heavens no, I'll be much too busy around here to be lonely. I have lots of exciting things planned for this weekend.
I'll bet.
Where's the mail?
What mail?